Okay, welcome back to D&D. So, last time we were playing, you went into the silence. You had fought some, I think they were griffins? Manticores. You fought manticores. And then you proceeded on, found a few traps, found a few ways forward, and eventually fought some goblins and their trolls before deciding, or perhaps just feeling bad about the goblins, and you decided to make peace with them. And some of them did. So we leave off there with 5 surviving goblins, including the kind of leader of the goblin, who is a somewhat kind of, I don't know, you like cute as in the way that like a pug would be cute kind of goblin girl. So, some people might not find her cute. They might find
A
her
wizard crossbred, a waifu goblin, I'm calling it now.
I was actually just thinking I like pugs, so for me she would be cute, but, I'm sure other people would be like, destroy this beast.
Oh, that reminds me. I've got something extremely not safe for work to share with you.
All right, then. Well,
I will DM it to you, and we will discuss that after session.
Of course.
But it's extremely funny.
But we leave off with you surrounded by goblin corpses, 2 troll corpses that you killed via fire. Fern's guns still smoking through just firing them multiple times.
I feel like I'm experiencing deja vu.
There we
As I
go.
look around the piles of goblin corpses.
I mean, that's classic D&D.
I believe that we were we had to stop, like a ceasefire.
Yep.
To rest and then we discuss things.
Yeah.
So, Fern's our translator. What do we want to discuss, other than the silence? I guess we can explain to them why we're here by a translator.
Yeah, if we're still in a noise bubble.
I believe the noise bubble had collapsed.
Okay.
Graham will try writing in Common, Old Orwellan, etc.
They're better with Goblin. That's why Fern was.
Oh, right. Of course, it is.
Chalkboard. All right, so we'll use the chalkboards, I guess. It's been a while, and I keep forgetting. We're looking for this cure for this sonic weapon that has been deployed against us inadvertently. And that's why we're down here. We're actually not looking to fight.
Goblin kind of looks at the words, just kind of like makes some hand signs.
Does anybody speak hand signs?
Oh. Wait, if they speak Goblin, couldn't she write Goblin?
Yeah. They understand what she wrote. They just responded with hand signs.
Oh.
Okay. Do we know what the hand signs mean?
Can we guess what the hand signs mean? Using our intelligence, says Piffle.
Go ahead and roll a flat intelligence.
Oh, boy.
Piffle looks at you expectantly, Graham, and...
Yeah. Well.
I'll roll it. Okay.
Yeah, well, Graham kind of gets the idea. Graham can sort of understand that it's a lot of kind of almost negative connotations. The little goblin just pointed to the chalkboard.
Graham will give her his chalkboard and chalk.
Kind of just writes down in goblin, which Fern then translates for you. We are not familiar with any sonic weapon. And then she writes down, what is a sonic?
Graham will ask Fern. I guess at this point we could just assume Fern is relaying where possible.
Yeah.
We'll explain, like, when there are those moments where you can hear things, or it's not silent and things make noise. And he'll bang the hilt of his sword against the floor, and there's no sound. Like when that makes your ears feel. Hey, we got a fern.
Yay. Hi, Lena.
You're basically telling them it's an audio. It's a sound.
Yeah,
that
we're
causes
doing a
your
Plato's
brain to dis-
cave with the concept of sound to people who don't know what the concept of sound is.
Do they understand vibrations in the stone?
I'm sure. Well, they can speak Goblin, right?
Mhm.
Yes, they should have concept of.
So they can, when you can speak out loud. There's a weapon we were struck by that when we heard it, it started killing us, and the cure is down here.
Writes down. It was bad luck you were in an area of sound when the weapon struck.
Graham will start
So
doing the thing he's been
actually-
doing, which is telling them about other places. In this case, it'll be most places actually do have sound, and this area is unique. There's no sound here for the most part, but almost everywhere else there's sound.
Writes down. How horrible.
It has its ups and downs. Hi, Lena.
Hi, Lena.
Oh,
We're using the chalkboards to go back and forth with the goblins, and Fern's translating because we can't write goblin.
cool.
All right. The goblin leader writes down. What are you called?
Graham will write down, my name is Graham. And then pass the board around to everybody.
Yeah, I'll write auto.
Fun.
And how does Fiffle refer to himself? Does he use Fiffle or?
What's that?
She asked for
Saying
what you were.
names to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself as Pipple.
Ah. It was that or Mickey Rat Sauce. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, well, these are just some goblins. I'm not.
Does Fiffle doesn't intend to scam them?
Huh?
Fiffle doesn't intend to scam them?
I mean, they're probably broke.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Piffle like sizes them up. He's like,
I smell broke, bitch.
Goblin just writes down, I am, and then she kind of like taps on the back of her hand 3 times. She kind of writes 3 tap.
That's what I was thinking. 3 tap. Okay.
We're playing Magic. Tap 3, play it.
Well, we're the same company. Let's see here. This continues to write down that they were kind of driven from the lower area where they had been by a terrible monster.
Graham will take the board and start writing a brief summary of how they came all the way down here, and mention that they're planning to go all the way to the bottom, so maybe they'll be able to help take care of this monster. And also throw in an apology about killing like half of them.
She looks around, writes down, death happens. It's not the most people lost in a single go.
Ouch. Graham will write, I'm sorry to hear that.
Continues writing down, terrible monster has killed our troll guardians, except for, and she looks at the 2, the last 2.
Graham takes a pull from his flask.
Monsters up here are dangerous as well.
Can she describe the monster?
Yeah, I was about to ask, what can you tell us about the monsters?
It is invisible.
like it.
She writes down, we used steam to try and determine its location. We used things on the ground to try and find its footsteps.
Do we have any bags of flour? Because that's a classic.
Bags of something, probably explosives.
We have decided to introduce the monsters to an AMRAP.
The monster, we fought, but we could not hurt it. And if it touched you, you would die.
Can Gray make a religion check? Because that sounds like some specters and ghosts he might know.
Yeah, go ahead and make a religion check.
Hooray, I didn't roll badly at what I'm good at.
Reb, you do know that there's a number of monsters that would fit part of the description. You know that there's invisible specters. You know that there are specters that can cause your heart to stop. But you're not sure if there is an actual monster that is invisible, can't be harmed, and will cause your heart to stop altogether. You've never heard of anything that would match those three points they made.
Okay.
Have I heard of anybody ever mentioning that during like my bartending days?
Make a history check.
Okay. Where's the thing?
You've heard of different monsters that would fit some of what it described, but not all three.
Off of that, do I know which maybe hit two of those criteria?
You know that there are things like creatures that if they were to gaze into your eye, they could cause such a fright that your heart would stop immediately. And you're familiar with creatures that are invisible, things like ghosts, or you know of magic that can cause invisibility. As for something that can't be hurt, as far as you're aware, everything can theoretically be hurt. It's possible that they just weren't able to do enough damage, but it's possible that this creature maybe is so tough that it is able to deflect weapons or magic used against it.
Interesting.
And this is just me remembering. They threw a bunch of their rejected stuff down here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we recall maybe something in the when we were part of the singularity of a rejected project like this?
Yeah. Give me one more history check, please, to try and remember your connection to the singularity.
Can I try one as well?
Yes, yeah, everybody can try as you all were merged into the creature.
I actually got to be right back.
Okay.
Sorry. I must use the bathroom or I will explode.
Don't explode. That would be messy.
Fiffle or Fern would like to as well. They can roll history.
I am very smart at history,
Yeah,
as you all know.
Fiffle,
One of us rode good.
you had actually merged in a little more with the singularity than everybody else, and you do remember, almost as if you were there, a creature that had been being grown, and it was found to be extremely difficult to kill and also extremely dangerous, and so lacking the ability to actually kill it, that was cast down into the silence as far as they could throw it. From what you remember, it was at the time snail-sized, but was known and suspected to be able to grow rather large. That being said, it was also incredibly slow.
So this was thousands of years ago.
This is a couple hundred, but yeah.
Right.
Did they give it a name?
The stalker,
The stalker.
they found that it often didn't need rest, that it would just continue forward at a slow but steady pace, it created a sort of energy that would just cause you to die, or at least be incredibly injured if it did strike you.
I'm picturing the Austin Powers steamroller.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what it would be. Just and yeah, it was invisible, or at least translucent. In the dark, probably very difficult to see. They did use basically they kind of coated it in a dust to actually get a physical form, and it was similar to like what you would think of like a turtle, in that it had like a thick shell, and instead of like 4 large legs, it had these kind of like 6 thick, stumpy legs, and it was slow like a turtle. And the head was kind of almost, it's like a long beak, like a bird, with some horns jutting out of it, and it had these kind of like 2, you would think of them as like tentacles that would jut from it, and if the tentacles struck anything, the creature would die. They tested it on smaller creatures like mice, which instantly died, and they tested on even larger creatures. Some of them would survive for a bit, but even against a troll with their incredible amount of regenerative abilities, would in fact die.
So, yes, I remembered all about this creature, and it will kill us. We should not fight it.
If it's slow, I feel like it would be range warfare. But we also need to identify it. Like, throw a bunch of dust on it.
And then lure it into a trap. And never, ever go near it.
And push it off a cliff. Sorry, Baldur's Gate. Just shove it off the cliff. You guys think that maybe the cure is behind this thing?
I mean, probably. What if it wasn't? What kind of world would that look like?
Three tap takes the chalkboard. What does your cure look like?
It's a, what is it, a set of instructions? I think it was a 7 instructions just they wrote down. I'm not even sure.
Yep.
Anymore, because it's been like 3 weeks.
It was basically like they wrote down the directions on how to fix it on some paper vellum and stuffed it into a kind of leather and metal tube holder. You'd seen something like that before that had been used for like holding maps.
I will relay that to her. Well, I will have the Fern relay that to her.
Writes down, we haven't seen anything like that. It may be further below. We were only down a single level previously. And this level's still pretty dangerous, she writes.
So the invisible stalker is on this level or the level below?
Below, she writes.
Okay. Dibbity dibbity.
She writes down, it came from even further down, but it moves so slow it may have taken some time to get up.
Is she worried? Are they worried that it'll eventually come up here?
Yes. Maybe we'll be dead by then.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
Hello. So we've described what we're looking for to her. The stalker's apparently, I guess it's a stalker. It's been moving up from the bottom layer for over time. It's just so slow. So eventually, if it comes up here, they hope they're dead or they'll just die.
It's a relentless snail force.
This reminds me of the if you win $1 million, but you have to run away from a snail that'll touch you and you
Oh
die.
yeah, the immortal snail.
Goes on to write, it seems territorial. It may not leave its new lair.
How big is its new lair? Can you show us or give us directions?
Just writes probably the whole level below. We didn't do a scientific research on it to try and ascertain its territorial range. Seems omnivorous with a preference for meat that was once living.
Oh boy.
Right, so it may have a weakness we have not been able to determine.
Well, if we can kill it, we will. Or at least get it to stop killing.
Writes down in all capitals, don't fight it. It just kind of like stuffs that right in your face.
Maybe we'll find some information about it.
Shrugs.
Would you Graham will also mention again the researchers in the college and whether the goblins and people here might be interested in working with the scientists, hopefully for their own benefit as well, to tell them stuff about what it's like down here.
Make sure that they know that goblins have rights up there.
It is true.
Writes down, we have rights and lefts down here.
Mm-hmm.
Do they cut off a hand?
No one will try to hurt you just because you're a goblin. Mostly. Just a bad
Graham will try to do a children's summary of law and the protection of the law. Up there, people can't just take what they want because they can.
They can. I don't know if they can all come. I guess they could come with us and be part of the guild.
Unless you're a billionaire.
Writes down, what if you really, really want to take something?
You can ask, trade, buy, barter, do a favor, work for it, buy your own.
Steal it.
She writes down, I like that last suggestion the best.
Graham will explain that the idea of the law is if you don't break the law, then you are protected by it and people can't break it against you. But if you do break the law and you get caught, then you get in trouble, because if everybody did it, then everybody would be killing each other.
She nods. The social
Cats and dogs
contract.
living with each other, mass hysteria.
Writes down the social contract.
I like the idea that these goblins are like really specifically erudite on whatever they had documentation of down here, but very little else.
Writes down, we are the descendants of research assistants.
Makes sense.
Writes down, do you have a Leviathan above that forces the social contract through violence?
We should get.
I will explain.
We got to enroll these guys in political theory classes.
You figured out the problem with our society.
I guess we can explain. I will explain that while there's no Leviathan to do that, there's a structure where if I will explain the whole thing about being arrested and executed and stuff. So yes, in a weird way, the Leviathan has grown many heads and has many different offices.
See, I feel like a Leviathan that just enforces the social contract through violence is far better.
I mean, I agree.
Power structures of humans can be corrupted, whereas the Leviathan.
Update: the Leviathan has been corrupted.
Shit! She writes down, we work off of political theory texts written by philosopher Thomas Hobbes.
I understood that reference.
She writes down, and when I say Leviathan, I'm not using a theoretical Leviathan. I mean a literal Leviathan.
Oh, I figured.
We followed.
Ours is metaphorical and kind of sucks, to be honest, but for the most part, the system works and we can make it better.
Very well, we shall help you. We can send down a couple goblins below to assist you in finding what you need.
Is there anything you want or need that we can help you with?
Kind of looks around. Do you have any drugs?
I've got whiskey. Graham hands over the whiskey.
She just takes it, just downs it.
I'll give them a mushroom wine from our travels in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh god, that's right.
You
You got that good shit. They're gonna be asking us for hookups.
You only need one.
Right, son. There's not a lot to do down here, so
Understood.
you make it work. Writes down. There is a rumor, a legend, that the silence can be turned off and that sound can be restored completely.
Would you want that?
Go on.
We're used to not hearing. Hearing all the time would be troublesome. How do you sleep if you are always hearing?
You get used to it. Plus, you could always like stuff cotton into your ears or something.
Writes down. Goblins have big ears.
I had a perfect comeback to that, but it's not. It's a different age rating than this game.
I mean, this is right. This is like, PG-13 soft R.
Okay. If you're sure, goblins have big ears but small holes.
No, we have big holes. She kind of like puts an exclamation point on that one. She like pokes it in your face.
Awkward.
I see.
Anyway, she writes down, the way down to the next level, you have to go through some additional monsters, and they're not that nice.
Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, can we get a description about those?
They're cold.
Any other description besides they're cold? Like they like-
Snakes? Question mark?
cold snakes, reptiles. Wait, does this match anything we might know? History check.
Yeah, go ahead. Nope. Not a thing. Cold snakes. That's not real.
Nature?
Yes, go ahead.
Hold up.
No, you kind of remember that snakes typically, hibernate when it's cold. Of course, you also remember that this is the land of forgotten experiments, So it's possible that it's nothing you've ever encountered before.
Yeah, could be all bets are off.
Do we see anything like that in the singularity?
Make a history check to try and
I will
remember
make a history check.
your connection.
Damn it!
You hilarious. Okay, so you do actually remember that there were some test subjects that were brought in and eventually cast down here for the simple fact that they were annoying. You suspect that they're referring to two separate creatures. That they're probably referring to the living snow, as for snakes, possibly a Medusa.
I will share that by chalkboard. And then I will describe a Medusa I will have Fern describe a Medusa to the goblins and say snake.
They put snakes, plural. And then they
Could it be a
nod.
Hydra?
Too small.
What's too small? The Medusa one?
No. Dude, write down. Medusa, probably? Question mark?
Okay. Jesus.
Writes down, I've not heard of a Jesus. What kind of a monster is that?
Complicated question.
Alright, do we want to get this party underway?
I think so.
Writes down, if you go through the cold, there's some lingering dust we had that we could use to try and find the stalker. But if you don't want to go that way, you can just try to head towards snakes to head down to the lower level.
Let's
get the
try to
best.
get the powder.
Yep.
Pure Colombian gob candy.
Hell yes.
You defeated the invisible stalker with cocaine? There was a lot of it. There were 35 kilos, right, Otto? Yes, there were 30 kilos. We turned over all of those 25 kilos to law enforcement as soon as we got topside.
In a nice mink fur coat.
You're really good right now.
Write down. 3 taps.
Okay.
We'll go with you. 3 taps is brave.
All right.
I missed it when I was in the bathroom. Is she 3 taps?
She's
Yep, 3 taps is her name.
Aw. You school stang.
Because she tapped on the back of her hand 3 times.
Ah. I see.
She writes down, we rest first.
Okay, let's do that.
Graham, all right, thank you for your help.
She writes down, thank you for not killing us all.
We try.
You are the nicest monsters we've found so far.
Graham needs to take a moment to think about that one.
She's not wrong.
Nope.
So,
No, she's not.
Is this a long rest?
If you would like it to be.
Do we need a long rest?
Do we?
We are on something of a timer, but hopefully we won't like.
Fine, next.
Okay. Well, I'm ready regardless what we choose.
Yeah. I could go either way. I'm at full HP, but I have no hit dice or healing dice left, and I think I'm okay on spells.
I'm okay on spells. I'm okay on HP and hit dice.
Alright, so you want to just continue forward?
Yeah, let's do it.
Now or forever hold your peace.
Alright. 3 taps response, you're brave. We go forward then. She kind of does like the hand signs to the rest of the goblins. And they take their weapons and they kind of back into the corner and do their best to hide.
Aw.
She does
Good luck, little guys.
more hand signs. It's like, and then she just writes down on the chalkboard, "I will come with you. I am the leader. I must protect my people."
That's helpful. You probably accept her help, yeah?
Yeah.
And then she writes down, "Lead the way. I'm not really that strong, but I
Alright,
will
let's
guide you."
take positions, etc.
Just not getting lost is pretty useful.
All right.
Lost in Brown Cavern all the time.
And I can also reveal some areas over here. So, from what you can see, there is a tunnel heading to the north. So just position yourself how you know.
I will go midline-ish,
Okay.
so we can't get jumped, as it were.
So Graham, like right here.
Yeah.
Fern behind Graham with Aurora. Okay.
Where's that's the tunnel over there?
Yep, right to the north here.
All right, I'll be right here.
Okay, and Fiffle in the rear.
Sure.
Piffle,
But we can
thanks.
do shoulder to shoulder too if Graham thinks that's better.
If it's wide enough, we could probably do a couple of sets.
And obviously I'll be with shield in this case.
Okay.
If it's gonna matter.
And 3 taps will position herself directly next to Graham. And she does a hand sign, which is pretty obvious to you, that just says forward or onward.
Okay.
Or possibly that away.
I assume that this isn't trapped because they've gone through here a few times.
Yep. She kind of just like writes down on the chalkboard, "No trap here."
Okay. So let's move forward until she says otherwise. I guess up to here.
Okay.
So we can take a
So,
look around.
from what you can see, there is a strange mirror, as well as a tunnel that kind of leads to the right, but ends in a dead end with a kind of skull-shaped decoration, as well as a tunnel that leads to the left. And you can see it actually kind of links around in that one section you were attempting to climb, but the stone was a little too crumbly.
Gotcha.
Is this an actual mirror or is this gonna be one of those magic mirrors?
You could investigate it if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay, give me an investigation. All right.
Nice.
Looking into the mirror, you primarily see yourself, although you find yourself a little stretched and widened. This mirror has some sort of flaw in it, whether by design or on purpose, you're not sure. But it does appear to alter the way you actually look, so it's not a mirror for the purpose of investigating like what you look like exactly.
Some sort of funhouse mirror.
Anything special that she can ask? We would ask her anything special before we move on.
It's the tall mirror. It makes you taller.
Okay, fair enough. If there's nothing here, then let us move onward.
Okay.
Which would be, I'm assuming, to the.
There's a path
Yeah.
heading to the north.
This is a wall, right?
That is a wall. Yep. There's just a decoration of a skull.
You know,
That
top
is a
down, it
gate.
just looks like a fancy boss gate.
Actually, if you'd like, make a history check.
Sure.
There we go.
Graham, this is actually representative of a older style a previous Orwellan emperor, when the kind of the necromancers had more political power and had actually been able to have a lich who had become the emperor for a while before he had fallen out of political favor and was replaced with a mortal emperor once again. So this is probably something of a remnant of that.
What kind of conditions lead to a lich being politically favorable as emperor? But I won't. I can't.
I mean, if you'd like, you can make a history roll to try and figure it out.
It's very lifeist.
If anybody would like to make a history roll to figure out the political...
Yeah.
All right, yeah, Graham. So you remember that the Orwellans had various necromantic scholarly circles, and there was a point where the necromancers who wield some very powerful magic had been able to get a necromancer to ascend to lichdom. He had enough allies within the Orwellans' kind of political elite that during a more tumultuous period, a necromancer, he was able to ascend to be the emperor by basically promising stability and general safety, which was accepted. However, after a point of ruling for many hundreds of years, it was decided that he had lost touch, having been from an older style of the empire, and was no longer able to make a good, have a good estimate of the situation of the empire, and had isolated himself. And also, people were just fed up with having one dude who just never died always be in charge, and had eventually wanted to change. And he was able to be, in essence, forced out into retirement by being told that if he didn't, he would eventually just be overthrown and killed.
As you do.
And by that point, he had more or less been so isolated from the empire that he didn't really see a tremendous change.
Makes sense. Goddamn boomers in Congress.
Huh. That's the history of the Lich Emperor.
All right.
Graham's writing like size 2 font on the whiteboard. They're all like looking at their watches.
All right. I guess we head this way.
So there's the tunnel heading to the north and a tunnel heading to the northwest. 3 taps takes the chalkboard. That passage northwest there, that leads to the powder we had been using.
Okay.
Although we don't go down that way because it's too cold.
How cold?
Too cold. Just tries to write down the way to describe it. Deadly cold.
Okay.
Well, we do have to go that way.
You might be able to do something about that with magic, but I don't have any nice spells for that aside from cold damage, and even then it's fucking expensive.
And we're also silenced.
Also true.
Let's head.
Living snow.
What does living snow mean?
She thinks for a bit. Snow that's alive?
Monster?
We cracked the case.
Sounds bad. I don't want to fight living snow. We're gonna fight living snow?
We might have to.
I don't. That sounds bad.
We can always double back if we gotta turn tail.
She thinks.
How do you?
It is a monster. Everything's a monster.
Have snow.
Well, let's head this way and then see if it starts to get colder, if it's actually like a physical monster instead of like a metaphorical monster.
She writes down, what's a metaphor?
Oh, goblins.
What do you use a meta for?
Not much these days. It's full of disinformation bots.
All right. I'll explain what a metaphor is.
Like a simile.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
terrible. People should be precise in their language.
Agreed. All right. Let's head northwest, I guess.
Okay.
Can I see further down?
Yeah, as you look in, you can see the area. Yeah, you can actually feel the cold coming off of like from down this hallway. Like the chill is very evident from this spot.
Does it feel like it's emanating from anything specifically?
Make a perception check. Yeah, you actually do notice that there are some thin kind of like vents in the wall, and you can see there is this occasional kind of, you see airflow. Like you can see the cobwebs that are in front of it get like shifted a bit as the air flows out of it, and the cobwebs freeze completely as it happens. You
With
notice, yeah, you notice these vents along like the wall quite a ways.
How big are these vents? Is there, and how many?
You see them you currently see like sets of 4. The vents themselves aren't tremendously big. They are kind of tall, like maybe about a foot or so. You could try and stuff something in it. You do notice that the ground has formed ice and that there are piles of snow that have kind of built up in this area.
Yeah. Is there anything to block the vent or stuff them in this room? I guess I'm really riding this perception roll. I'm never gonna get a good one like this again.
I was gonna say, can I do a history check to see if I remember anything from the hive mind that was like experiments that needed cold storage?
Yep, go ahead, give me a history.
Eh.
Yeah, you remember that they were doing some experiments with a gas that would cause cold. This was an experiment for actual military logistics, that they could take food and then they could like put it in a container and then they could put this cold gas in to freeze it and keep it cold for long periods of time so it could be moved over large areas without having to worry about it going bad. It was found to be too cold, however, and had a tendency to cause frostbite.
All right.
So the experiment that had initially been put down here had simply been abandoned when this was an actual, real research lair, as opposed to just the area they just shoved everything into.
Is there a shut off for these vents?
You don't see one. You suspect maybe if you kind of like stuff something in. Going off of your 23, there is a kind of snowbank that is in front of these vents that would allow you to kind of like try and stand on it to try and like stuff something in if you so desire.
Okay, so anything to stuff in there?
I think we still have those furs and stuff. Yeah, I got some furs. I could load them up.
Okay.
So Graham will try to cover the vent with the fur.
Okay. So Graham, you go and because these vents are up, they're not like down at your level. They're actually up in the like top, so you do have to stand on something.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's like the snowbank. You could try and find something else if you wanted to stand on it. You don't know how, like, you don't know if the snow is nice and powdery or if it's like kind of like packed in snow.
I guess I'll move out toward it first to see.
Okay. Appears to be the snowbank in front of it does appear to be kind of like a thick, solid snow. Packs real tight, very kind of like that wet snow that would be very heavy. You
Okay.
could probably stand on it without having to worry about sinking into the actual snow itself.
Graham will attempt to climb it.
And I'm just gonna. Okay. Yep, you're able to see that there is no this like none of this cold gas flowing out. So, Graham, I'm gonna position you like right here where the snow is. So as you go to climb it, just try and put the furs in. Give me a just give me an athletics as you kind of try and like stuff it in as tight as you can. Okay. Yeah, Graham, you start.
I will be right back. I'm gonna join on my phone.
Okie dokie. Graham, you just start stuffing the furs in as you stuff it in, and while you're putting it in, you're pretty sure you're getting it nice and tight inside so that it can't flow out anymore. You kind of feel the snowbank underneath you begin to shift.
Graham is going to quickly hop off of it back down.
As you do this, a large furry creature emerges, having been buried underneath the snow.
It's not living snow.
That tracks.
And yeah, great. I'll just plop you right there as you had jumped off, and you find yourself face to face with a Yeti.
Oh, hi.
And it just does this.
Token rolling it.
Yeah, it does a roar. You cannot hear it, although you certainly can smell it.
That tracks. Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, so yep, just click on your fella.
I have clicked on my fella. I got a 10, which is actually pretty good for Graham.
I want to find a Yeti. Bones Piffle.
Wrong one.
Where are we? Assume I'm near wherever we are.
And actually, I'll roll for Deer Goblin.
Who could forget Dear Rat Boy?
And then Ed said he would be back, so I'm gonna just click on. I'll roll for autos while Ed is rejoining. Why am I not seeing his initiative? Wow, I actually rolled pretty high.
Oh, damn.
All right. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Pipple, you're up.
Seeing from way back here and hearing, smelling, I guess not hearing, but smelling the distinctive smell of enormous beast. Piffle's fight or flight reflex kicks in, and thankfully I think he chooses fight for the moment. I'm going to move up to like the stairs here.
Okay.
And then shoot an arrow at the Yeti.
All right.
Using advantage?
Yes.
Okay. So I think what happens is
Okay.
those and then
Does hit.
these.
Okay, let me go. Well, okay, so that's 15 plus an additional 29. Let me grab my calculatizer.
It calculatizes.
And then I'll action hide.
Okay.
Or the stairs there.
Ugh.
Okay.
Take that, Yeti.
Yeah, you just shoot an arrow and it strikes the Yeti in the throat, and it.
I hope you weren't planning to talk to the Yeti, Graham.
The Yeti is. I mean, if there was sound, you would be accurately described as roars, but this more pantomimes a roar.
2 syllables.
But on to Fern.
Yes, I will. I guess I will attempt to shoot this creature as well
Okay.
with my pistols.
Okay, so let's see here. First one does strike. And
Great.
that is enough to kill the Yeti.
Oh, dang. Okay,
Wow.
well.
Well, Fiffle did a number on it with that first one.
Yeah.
Good old assassinate. Sometimes it works.
Yeah. The cat do be HVAC certified, though.
All right. So yeah, you just shoot the Yeti right through the eye.
Nice.
While it was
Graham gives
roaring.
the. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it was just roaring in pain, and then just right to the eye, and then thump.
Graham
right
does
on my
the.
chalkboard. We saved you, Graham. And
Graham shoots a thumbs up. He's got the slightly wide eyes, like, I'm impressed, that was sweet kind of expression.
However, Graham, you also notice
Uh-oh.
living snow.
Oh, no. Who could have predicted this?
Quick,
Oh, no.
torches and burn it with fire.
A snowlum.
All right, so Fern, it's still your turn. You can see Graham having noticed the living snow as. Actually, I guess that's up to Graham if you try and like warn
Oh,
her
yeah.
or not.
Okay.
Actually,
Like looking over there and pointing, horrified.
Yeah,
Okay.
Graham, make a performance roll to see how well you can like pantomime this.
I can't just point at it.
Fern, you see him pointing. You don't know what he's pointing at. Maybe the bag that they were talking about that had that like dust in it.
Okay, well, I will. I'll go ahead and move over here.
Okay.
And Aurora will come too.
All right.
And then I can also see them, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you desire, you roll both shots at once, but I would say because the first shot hit and killed, you would still have access to a second attack.
Oh, okay.
I will not rob you of that attack.
Wow. Alright, I'll try to shoot at this dude then.
Okay. Nope.
Oh, well.
The gun just
Nope.
goes click.
Oops.
You
forgot
see
to
the
load.
hammer fall and strike and create a spark, and then the gun just doesn't do anything.
Remember, look down the barrel to see if there's something obstructing it now.
Ah,
It's the only way to do it.
Actually, I think there are rules for this. Now that I think about it, yeah, I did put something like that in. I did put in something like this, but I haven't used it ever.
Oh, misfire rules?
Yeah. Under our homebrew rules.
Hopefully they're not, like, dire.
Nah, basically you just gotta clear the jam.
Ah.
Yeah, so you just have to use an action to clear the jam on that if you wanted to. I gotta look it up because funny enough, you haven't rolled low enough to actually have that happen yet. So this is like the first time it's actually come into play. But anyway, Aurora can also do her thing if she so desires.
Well, she can't reach them, so she will be dodging for the time being.
All right. Otto is up. I don't know if Ed has returned. If he has,
He
he's muted.
said he can't. He said if it is combat, I can't play.
All right. Well, I know Otto. So Otto is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He can use his. Where's his?
He can halberd.
No, he specifically said sword and shield.
Yeah.
He's got 100 hit points.
Yeah, he's a beefy dude.
Eldritch Blast. So he's going to shoot at the snow golem that Fern attempted to shoot. Which misses. Unless they have a really craptacular AC, but I think they're... Oh, surprisingly, that does hit.
Hooray.
Yes. Okay. And then he will do his second one.
You want to see me do it again?
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't roll that nice. Silly old Ian. Yeah, 11 and 14 for 25. Okay, let me just... Okay. And that is Otto's turn. So, from the snow comes another Yeti. And it is going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, I think? I think that's correct. And that Yeti is gonna, that Yeti is going to... Yep. The Yeti is going to look at Otto, and I guess I will play as... I closed Otto's thing. Alright. I don't think it's going to work, but the Yeti is not smart. Okay. Yeah, he's going to have to make a con save. Which he passes. Well, that was a given. And then that's the Yeti's turn. On to the snow golems. 5, 10, 15, 20. Nope, wrong one. Snow golem is going to try and slam Otto. 1, nope. 2, nope. I don't think the 19 hits.
Not with a shield, no.
Yeah, you just see this snow golem just ineffectively like start trying to... It just like does these weak little punches, and then it actually almost gets a good one, but Otto just holds up his shield and just hits the shield, and just kind of like the snow melts.
Aw. Wait, no, it's trying to kill us. I retract my aw.
3, 4, 5, 6. Snow golem goes up to Fern, and it's going to do some slam attacks against Fern, so punches at Fern. Does a 20 hit? I think if 20 hits Fern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 5 bludgeoning, and you feel cold run through you, so it takes an additional 2 cold damage.
Oh no.
It's going to hit you again. I believe an 11 misses, however.
Does miss.
And it's going to... The 6 misses. So it gets one good slap against this rabbit. Right in the face. And then the other just goes like... You just see like the arms kind of like coming out of this like pile of snow and just attempts to punch you, but you're able to like duck and dodge out of the way.
How dare you?
On to the goblin leader, who 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And it is... She's going to take her heavy crossbow, and she's going to aim at the snow golem closest, the one that already got shot. And it's going to fire, flump, and it's going to hit, and it's going to do 10 piercing damage. I got to check something quickly. and the crossbow bolt just slides into this golem and out the other side, and the snow just closes around it, and she goes, You don't hear the but you definitely see the
Oh, you.
more accurately followed by putting on the ground and like starting to very quickly try and wheel this crossbow back, but it's like a big heavy crossbow, almost as big as she is, so not doing too much good. Graham, you're up.
Okay. Graham is gonna move down and take a swing at that there one with his sunblade.
Okay.
Give me a sec. Does a 12 hit?
It does, yes.
Cool. It'll be 8 radiant, and it'll also take 5 necrotic.
Okay. And that is a total of 13? That's 13.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, 13.
Yep. So yeah, you just see it like slide through this golem, and I'm just checking something quickly. Yes, you're good. It doesn't kill it, but you definitely see that it is very hurt. The snow is melting and slushy, and the golem is a lot more... It definitely looks like a snowman that has just been in the sun too long. The worst Frosty.
I'm gonna actually do this. I shouldn't provoke an attack from it, but I just want to move there to kind of better cover.
Yep.
All right, and I will end turn like that.
All right, I'm gonna do... Okay. And while that happens, you see this gas that begins to flow out, and you can actually feel the cold in your body, and everybody but Fiffle is going to take 6 cold damage.
But I stuffed a fur in a vent. I should be invulnerable.
And then the snow golem, if I recall correctly, is going to regain 6 hit points.
Oh, rude.
No.
If only we had a reckless fireball thrower.
You actually still have, I believe, 1 use of the fire breathing.
Oh, you're right.
And it hasn't been an hour because you decided not to rest, so...
You're right. Fucking fire fern.
And then I'm going to do... And while this goes on, you immediately are in an area of sound as well.
Oh, good.
I just rolled a good... I rolled really well for that sound bubble. So, yeah, you immediately just hear the hiss of the gas flowing in, and the creatures kind of mumbling and groaning at you from their actual attempts to kill you. So, Fiffle, you're up.
All the time. They're always broke. Monsters. Let's see. So there's another Yeti and some snow golems, you say?
Yes.
Over here.
Snow golems are physically resistant.
Yeah, you didn't notice any issue with cutting into it with your magic weapon, however.
I do have that, actually. Well, first... Why don't I move... Hold on. What's this?
That is your goblin friend.
Oh.
Who is, you've noticed, also got hurt by the cold.
That's it. We have to kill the cold.
Well, I'm gonna go, here by my goblin friend.
Okay.
Nice touch on putting the music audible only once the sound bubble kicked in.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna start by shooting at the Yeti.
Okay. Now you had hidden, but you had to actually move into the site, so you weren't able to attack from being hidden. But so it'll just be a straight attack. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But because Otto's next to him, you will get the benefit of sneak attack, sneak attack damage.
Let's see if we hit.
You do in fact hit. Go ahead and roll the bones.
All right, and for those.
Those are bones, indeed.
Sneak attack is rapid as with the leveling has become just
Oh yeah.
the main event for the rogue here.
Yeah, rogue sneak attacks are just delicious.
It's pretty nice.
I do miss my old rogue, who unfortunately got bit in half. He did have some nice stuff.
These things happen.
Yeah.
I still remember back in 3.5 how bonkers you could do, because it was per hit that qualified, and you could dual wield and do all sorts of obscene bullshit like that.
Oh yeah, they changed that. It's only once per attack now. No more fighter rogue combos for that nonsense.
I had a ranger rogue in 4th edition, which was just the destroyer of worlds.
Damn, Daniel, that sounds nice.
So I once dealt something like 1,300 points of damage in one attack action.
Are you sure this wasn't 3.5 you did that?
It was 4. It was 4. It was a Gestalt game, though. It was epic level Gestalt, but it was still crazy powerful.
All right. And I'm sorry, Fiffle. You still have your bonus action.
Well, bonus action hide. I will bonus action hide.
Actually, funny enough, I think that's a reaction, so you don't get the. Or hold on, I can't remember. Do you get the benefit?
No, the reaction is giving it to someone else.
But you can do it for yourself. Yep. Okay. I was thinking for a second, but yes, you are correct on that regard. So yes, Fiffle, you just kind of duck behind this little brazier of this cold fire.
Yeah. Whoop. Can't see me now. I ducked.
Fern, you're up. So you have one good pistol and one jammed pistol.
Okay, who deserves the fire breath?
It might be worth hitting both of the snow golems.
Well, I think it only hits one is the problem.
Yeah. It's basically you do a little burp of firebolt at people.
Gotcha. The one I hit is injured but healed back most of the damage. I think the other one hasn't been hurt at all.
Okay. I guess we'll just go with this one that's next to me.
Oh, okay.
What was that? Fire breathing?
Yes. Okay. Has to make a dex save. So I will make that right now. Not that it's particularly great at it. Wow, it surprisingly made it. However, that being said, it is going to take half as much damage. Please roll a 4d6, and we're going to cut that number in half. You can also do 2d6, but honestly, it's just a little, yeah. It's going to take half of that 11 rounded down, so 5. And it also is going to go back to 11 because it's vulnerable to fire.
Nice.
So, Fern, you just
Okay.
belch a little bit of fire at this thing, and you just see it strike, and the golem just kind of and just the hiss of steam and the skull melting, and it just dissolving into a slush puddle right in front of you. Imagine just having to shovel the worst snow. I don't know if Fern's ever had to actually shovel snow in her life before.
I don't know. I've never had to, so I can't relate.
Oh yeah, we're filthy New Englanders around here.
Alright.
I just imagine Fern having never ever experienced snow in the Feywild before and coming to Viderheim, completely new experience.
This is bullshit.
Alright, so Aurora.
And that was a bonus. Oh no, I'm sorry. You drink.
I think that's an action, right?
No, after drinking the potion, you can use a bonus action, so you still have your action.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Dang it. Okay, I was gonna have Aurora do her thing. But she uses bonus action.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You're gonna have Aurora shit? I mean, she could if you so desire.
No, I did a dumb in the thing I'm doing. There we go.
Well, I guess I will go ahead and shoot at this Yeti. Since regular weapons don't work on these dudes, right?
Yep, you saw that Fiffle's arrow just... no, you saw her crossbow bolt just kind of punch right through without doing anything, so...
Okay. Then I will go ahead with the good pistol.
Okay.
Shoot that dude.
Alright, and I believe the gunslinger feat does eliminate the loading action, correct?
Mhm.
Yep, so you basically just bang, load another the musket ball or pistol bullet into it and fire again. Graham, you don't think you've ever seen this rabbit move so quick to reload. You're like, wait, doesn't that normally take like a long time?
Fern stars in hair trigger.
You know what? That's such a good shot, Fern. How do you want to do this?
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah, Fern, you
Think
just...
about it. Shoot him in both the eyes.
Yeah, you just see like the Yeti just... both eyes just... and it just kind of like flumps over dead.
Remind me not to owe you money.
Alright, did you wish to do anything else with your turn, Fern?
I don't think I can. So I'm good.
Alright, we are on to Otto. Otto is directly adjacent to this fella, but he does have a magic sword, so he is going to swing at the Snolum, hitting and dealing 11 slashing damage. And he's going to slash again for 12 slashing damage. And that is Otto's turn. The Yeti is a little bit dead onto the Snolum,
Mildly dead.
who instead is going to slam Otto. Punch. Punch. I can't remember if a 21 hits. It does, yes, just barely. For 7 total, 3 bludgeoning and some cold damage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And that's his turn. Goblin Leader is shivering, and you see her covered in a very thin layer of frost. She is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and she is going to attempt to hide. Which she doesn't.
She's doing her best.
You're not sure how somebody out of line of sight can fail to hide. Like, you just see her, like, kind of cowering down, like, halfway still visible.
Ears
But
poking out from around a corner.
She can't see you, so she assumes you can't see her.
Baby logic.
Graham, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna try to bonk the snow golem to death again.
Okie dokie.
Same as before. One
Nice.
moment. We do have sound now, though. I could do something with that. I don't know if I want to. Well, let's just start with this. 18 to hit, and then
Okay.
it's 10 radiant and 2 necrotic.
Okay. The Snolum still lives.
It is Nolan. Do I have any bonus actions? Not really. I think that's the one problem with cleric.
Yeah. Also a problem with Palian, but...
I do have spiritual weapon, actually. What's left in this fight? Just the snow golem?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to waste a spell on that.
Alright. So then what I'm going to do is... the gas has stopped. You don't feel the chill in the air right now.
Good.
And then you can actually hear more, and you have the bubble you realize has expanded somewhat larger. Although you also know that's about when it's about to collapse as well. So, but for the time being, you know that it has gotten even larger. You can hear, and you can actually now hear the goblin shivering.
Aw.
You can hear like her teeth kind of chattering.
Maybe that's why. She's not used to it being...
On to the fiffle.
Yes.
Harvey Attorney, on to the fiffle.
Fiffle accepts your power of attorney.
Oh, wait, no. Undo. No.
It's okay, Graham. You've just ruined your life.
I didn't need the help.
Let's see what Piffle can do. Go away. Use your interface.
Yeah, she's very cute.
Piffle scoots around here and stabs this thing with his sword that is vaguely magical.
All right.
It's one to it.
That is magic enough for the purpose of killing a golem.
Unnatural.
Sorry. I'm on my phone.
No worries. That hits. Go ahead. Roll damage.
You need to roll for me, by the way.
And
I was rolling, yeah.
I think he gets a sneak attack.
He does, yes. Well, I'm going to let you in a little secret. How do you kill a snowman?
I don't know, but I stab it with a sword and that works? Piffle stands there looking vaguely confused as the snowman disintegrates or whatever.
Yeah, you just stab it, and
He kind of looks at his sword like, huh,
it falls
that's a
backwards,
keeper.
hits the ground, and just kind of scatters into loose snow.
All right, let's get out of here before this snow starts getting ideas again.
And the sound immediately clips out of existence.
Are we near that vent that I stuffed with the fur?
Somewhat close to it, which was like right here.
Did that actually materially help us?
The gas did not flow out of that specific vent, but you saw that there were like 6 lining one wall and 6 lining the other.
As we leave, I'm gonna go back and grab it again. And then hopefully avoid it, like not stand directly in the flow of the grill. I assume they're all built symmetrically, so I can kind of pull it from the side so I don't get a blast of cold air.
Yeah.
So Graham gets his furs back, and on we go.
Okay. Goblin kind of like comes back and just kind of does like a hand sign.
Oh yes, Naruto. Did the sound bubble collapse?
It did, yes.
Okay. Graham is gonna give her the chalkboard.
Cold. Keep going before it gets colder.
Graham is gonna give her the furs.
Thank you. You can see that like the writing, it has gotten a bit of like the way she writes it is very shaky as she is still kind of like shivering.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I understand the pug comparison more now. Tiny disaster goblin.
Why was there no snowman carrot flying out?
I mean, you could look for one. Maybe the Yetis already ate it.
My God.
She just keeps writing down, no, don't. Terry, go quick.
Yeah, let's go.
And she leads you down as she kind of like just paces quickly out of the area where the vents are and the frozen gas down to this area here where you see a bridge.
Excuse me.
She has the chalkboard. If you go down that way, it goes to the other lair, but you might die. So just better to go the normal way.
What's in this lair?
Down below?
The one that she told us we might die.
Oh, she writes down. It's kind of maze. No, it's not a maze, but there's a lot of rooms and hallways. Good to circle around then. Some stuff down there. Didn't go to the third one. That's where all the weird stuff got put.
Weird stuff. Okay, no, I just wanted to see like if they had gone there.
Yeah.
I feel like they're taking a safe route that this plotted is the way to go now.
And when she writes weird, she like underlines it twice.
Oh
And
dear.
then circles it.
Lucian is down there.
It has breached containment.
What is a Lucian?
A catman who really likes throwing fireballs.
Horrible. Kill on sight.
An absolute dog shit of a clown. Have you ever heard that? The alternative Pagliacci joke?
Oh, I had accidentally opened up Lucian's sheet since I had played him before,
Turn left to
and his subclass is lawyer.
God,
He was a lawyer cat for a little while.
that's terrifying. Have a nice day. Ugh.
Writes down, I don't know what a lawyer is. Sounds bad.
And you eat it.
Sounds kind of gamey. How's the marbling on it? She actually looks kind of almost curious as to this Lucian you've mentioned.
Oh God.
How many heads?
Graham will draw a tabaxi. It's not an
I will
amazing
answer all
rendition.
these questions as best as I can.
Graham, give me a
Performance?
Yeah, give me a performance as you draw tabaxi. You draw a very childlike cat.
Roll my. Can I try to redraw it? You can roll mine.
Yes. I think I can clear your sheet real quick.
Pulls out like charcoal pencils and does a perfect rendition.
Otto draws a he turns the chalkboard to be vertical, and then he draws like an okay, like quickly, but draws like a relatively decent cat person. And she just very freakish. Definitely belongs down here. Hope to never meet one. Down this way, further.
Continue. I'm petting my cat.
Did your cat hear me make fun of it?
Nah, she doesn't care.
Comes to a kind of locked room. In there. Teleporter that was disabled. Had a tendency to have certain hiccups.
You think we could fix it?
I wouldn't. Never did work right. Don't go on it with two people at once.
Wow,
We
there's
learned a
of-
lot about insect politics.
But good spot to store stuff. Living there for a little while until the living snow kicked us out.
When did the living snow start?
It had always kind of been here. We didn't notice it at first, and then the furry ones were angry too. We've only been up here a little while, just a couple of years.
Oof. That's a lot of traffic.
Moving is tough. Gotta find a nice spot to sit up. The ones with the
I wonder if
spiky
it'd be cheap-
tails. Were
I wonder if Kane moving back overland, considering how dangerous it is here. It just feels like it's safer for them to move up.
It might be, yeah.
Like recruitment jokes aside, like it just seems like they're so good at survival. Where this is now, I feel like they thrive if they move up.
Maybe they could live near the entrance. I mean, they kind of were. But
Yeah.
like they could go between the next level up where there's sound, and they could go back down there when they need quiet.
Yep.
Something to think about.
Could we relate that to them?
we could stuff ears with cotton. Maybe we could hear stuff forever.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's how it normally is. Above.
Horrible. Terrible.
Not that bad.
How do you not go nuts?
Yeah, it's what you get used to.
Yeah. Get used to
I'll
it.
take your word for it.
I mean, you see these ears?
Having an
Good.
ear off with the goblin.
Yes, big. Good for sensing vibrations. Do you touch them to surfaces like insects and hear vibrations through them?
No, they're like normal ears.
The others have smaller ears. How do they work?
The same
Not
way.
as well, but pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, you see, I have what's called a wisdom score, and based off of that, I roll a dice to determine if I hear things or not.
Big ears are better. Goblins have big ears. Goblins should theoretically hear super good.
The beginnings of a goblin ethno-state.
Don't
We
know
will
if,
keep this.
if goblins hear exceptionally well.
Never compared it when the bubble
Imagine.
sounds come.
Would I know this from my my cousin who married a goblin?
Yeah, goblins typically hear a little better. You know, not as good as a Haragon, but, you know, not bad.
Hey, don't tell her that.
Good to know. Doesn't help me down here, sadly.
Well,
Maybe if we go up to the surface. But there's
Yeah.
all sorts of things to hear up there.
mhm.
We heard in books there was something called music.
Yes.
And people do music as a living, a profession.
Some of them.
Some people.
Some just for fun.
How do you make living like that? Where does the music make food?
People pay to hear it because it sounds nice.
Doesn't make sense to me, but I'll take your thoughts for it.
Got a mental image of this goblin, like, just in front of a 10-hour, like, YouTube video of just, like, John Deere tractor engine noises.
Yeah, just like, I get it now. This is fantastic.
Like, this is absolutely my shit. Hang on, this is my favorite part.
I'm interested in hearing sounds. I might follow you up to the surface to see.
Do you guys like Have you ever seen the caveman scenes like in Chrono Trigger where they're just dancing like or erratically?
Mm-hmm.
As like basically that's what music causes people to do when they give you money. And you can use money to buy things you want.
Money can be
Circling back
exchanged for goods and services.
circling back to like how do you get what you want?
We just share everything down here. Don't know what money is.
You might be better off.
Have some coins. Look very nice. We pass them around to each other to take a look at.
They actually have a reserve down here.
Guys, my cat is so soft.
It's fun to collect it and then pass it around to your friends. Anyway, down this way, through the locked door. I lost the key, so you're gonna have to open it up.
Okay.
I think a Yeti ate it.
The Yeti ate my homework. All right, that's on Fiffle.
Yeah. Fiffle, you find yourself, as Graham is showing you, these two large barred doors, and you can see this heavy rusted lock right on the front.
Oh. So you want to go through there, Graham?
Yep. That is forward.
All right.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna jump on the computer.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, Fiffle, you're able to...
does his thing to the lock and sort of steps back.
It takes you a little bit of time as it is rusted. However, with thorough work, you're able to, after about a minute's time, pop open the lock, and you can see that it just like the gate kind of swings open, rusted. If there was sound, it would probably be horrifying to hear, but where you kind of just like drag it open, it's just a nothingness.
Nothingness?
Yeah, you just drag it open. There's no sound, which is probably for the best considering how rusty this gate is. And you can see a number of supplies kind of just piled up in the middle of this room there. Bags and a couple crates. Three taps kind of just goes in and starts rummaging. You can see her kind of like pulling out a number of small objects. You see her pulling out things like a couple coins that she had mentioned being passed around. And actually, give me a perception check.
Everyone heard.
Anyone who's there.
I guess I'm here.
Okay. Well, yeah. Fiffle and Fern, you see that the coins she pulls out have a number of teeth marks in them.
Have you been trying to eat these?
You chew on them?
They're soft.
Okay.
You put them in your mouth. Give it a little chew. It's fun. Try it.
I'm good.
Yeah. Thanks.
And she continues pulling out things. She pulls out some mirrors. She pulls out what appears to be a bit of makeup, like a little kit. She pulls out some small articles of clothing, a single boot. She pulls out a hat. She takes out a number of different things, and then she just triumphantly holds up above her head a little leather kind of sack with a flap in the front, and then aha! And she like kind of dips her hand in, and she pulls out some dust, and she like throws it up in the air, and it just kind of like hovers and floats in the air, and it creates this kind of like sparkly substance. And she kind of like waves her hand through it, and you can see that you can see where she has actually put her hand through as this dust begins to slowly fall to the ground. It takes about a couple minutes before it actually finally settles on the ground completely. It says, she writes just down, it stays in the air, goes on the ground, finds the invisible thing, no problem.
It's called asbestos.
Don't breathe it in, causes choking.
Let's all grab some.
Careful with it. It has a tendency to stay on surfaces for a long time. Doesn't get out of clothing easily. Gets in your hair, gets in your food.
We'll have to be careful with it then.
Take the sack. There's a bit of it in there. Got some good stuff. Got some bad stuff. Mostly good stuff.
Okay. Collect the sack of good and bad stuff.
Take a look for anything. Here, I show you some good stuff. And she like takes the makeup kit and she like takes the mirror and you just see her kind of like quickly throw on some makeup and at the end she looks like a clown.
What? Why?
She writes down pretty.
Oh.
Well, I'm a goblin.
She writes down people would put this on faces to make themselves look pretty. Finest lead-based makeup we have.
Ooh, maybe it should
It's
be
pure
said.
cadmium.
High quality stuff.
Try it.
All right, I have returned.
She takes
Just
a
in time
brush.
for the sign off, just about.
She takes a brush and she like applies some like eyeliner to, let's say, Otto. She
Yeah,
kinda,
that's
like,
fine.
tries to climb it, or she tries to pull you down a bit, and she puts on like this eyeliner on Otto. She puts it on kind of thick.
Can I do a performance to show how fabulous I look?
Yes, you may.
Oh yeah. And where is it? No,
Yeah, it's all right.
I am beyond that.
I'm on.
Like,
fleek,
I
damn
don't
it.
buy this, and I feel like you guys aren't appreciating the fabulousness. That's better. A little bit better.
Wow, that looks great.
Graham just gives a non-committal thumbs up.
I nominate Graham for the next eyeliner.
She takes some of the eyeliner, just like slathers it on Graham's face.
Like does a Zorro.
Time for your performance.
Right there, beautiful.
You must do your performance. This is a freaking.
Yep.
Graham just like completely stone-faced.
Slow clap.
She takes
Graham
out like
by the
some.
Russian judge.
She takes out some lipstick. Big ears, lipstick.
It'll just get stuck on my fur. Please don't put that on me.
On the four-legged one?
Ask her if she has a bow.
Oh, sure. She takes like the lipstick and she approaches Aurora.
Whereas like backing away. Okay, fine. I'll take.
Aurora dissipates back to the Feywilds.
She's like.
She just takes the lipstick and like rather heavy on one side and smears it across your mouth.
Okay, yeah, that's a little much. It's a little hot.
Beautiful. Look good.
Okay.
And she like takes some lipstick and like she just smears it across her mouth. Like not on just the lips, but like all around. It almost looks like a toddler with like the spaghetti mouth. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on each other for funsies. She like looks in. There's like some blush. She just like stamps it on Fiffle's cheeks.
Hey,
There. See? Good stuff. Finest makeup we have. High quality. Made of lead. Holds on real well.
I would
Okay.
imagine it does.
advertising opportunities when we return to the surface alive.
How do you feel? I feel prettier, but for some strange reason, I want to vote against my own interests now and yell at cashiers.
Okay. Come with me. We go through cold again real quick so we don't freeze.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could take rest if we need to. Also, I'm a little cold, so I'm gonna stay in the back. But I'll keep you forward, okay? She does a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Let's do it.
So she brings you back to the cold. You're able to travel through it like quick enough that you don't get blasted with any of the gas. And she brings you to here. So she points to the hallway heading up. This way. You see her right down.
All right, let's go.
You see the hall kind of zigzag. And you notice that the floor is kind of wet about where you're as you're going. It looks like there's probably some sort of water leaking in, and you can see that it's kind of made a slick, watery surface across the tunnel here. Not sure where exactly that has come from, but yeah, it's getting wetter and wetter as you're heading down the tunnel.
Graham will write down, is this normal?
Just kind of shrugs. Always wet this way.
Where will we be? Like right here at this point?
Yeah.
There it is. Come here. Come here.
And you can see that the tunnel kind of heads a bit as it goes to the east. It then hits an end, and it goes to the north and to the south.
Which way is she suggesting? I'm assuming north.
Yeah, you see her kind of like point east, and then she like does a little turn that would be to the left, which would be north.
Right. How far south can I see? Oh, I guess as far south as I can see. Okay.
Yeah. Otto, as you step onto that spot of water as it like deepens, you are going to take 5 lightning damage.
It's happy water.
And you step in and you just like feel the kind of electricity shoot through your leg.
And I step out.
Yeah.
I'll go over here. Okay.
And then there is a brief bubble of sound, and you can hear this like electricity kind of coursing through this puddle here in front of you.
Is there an origin of it?
Make a perception, or I'm sorry, make an investigation check.
I will assist you.
Okay, yeah, you can see that there is a kind of thick black rope that has like dipping into the puddle, and it's kind of like you can see that there are some sparks emanating from it.
Is the rope look like it's made out of rubber, or like I'm assuming it's like an electric wire?
Yeah, it does not look like it is made of like anything that has been like woven together. It definitely looks like it is kind of rubbery in nature. However, while you are investigating this, Otto, you can hear some sounds from behind you, and it sounds like these metal steps, heavy metal that are kind of like going in sequence, and they're heading right towards you. And we are going to end this here, and we're going to pick it up next time.
I was going to be like, metal steps. Okay.